Welcome to the Written Word. I am Terrence, and this is a channel that is all about poetry. Today, I will be talking about DKMH, a poetry book written by Dacre Montgomery. Dacre Montgomery now is an actor who is known for movies like Power Rangers and other things. And when I first picked up this book, you know, I was thinking, okay, maybe this is another book by a celebrity that's just trying to make a quick buck because you see a lot of YouTubers, a lot of actors, a lot of them who are has-beens or people who are just trying to cash in on something without actually putting any effort or any work in. So I was a little bit skeptical about this book, and also reading the reviews on Goodreads where a lot of people are just trashing it, because of its avant-garde style and its abstract nature. But when I read this book, at first it was a little bit hard to understand because it's a lot different than most poetry that's on the shelf right now. Um, but I feel like when it's read in the proper context, like this is a poetry collection that you can't just like open it up and just read a poem out of it and understand what it's talking about. You have to understand like what each chapter is about, and it flows in a very intrinsic nature. So when you have proper context for these poems, they're easier to understand, and they have a certain depth and complexity to them. For example, for example, um, this poem right here, which is about anxiety, which the chapter tells you that it's about anxiety, but if you read it out of context, you might not understand. But I'm going to read it for you, and it actually has a certain depth and complexity, and speaks a certain truth that people, if they don't have anxiety, wouldn't understand. But if you have anxiety, such as somebody like me, you understand exactly what he's talking about, and you understand exactly the nuance and some of the deeper motifs that he's trying to allude to. So, like, here's the poem. Dopamine produced too much, couldn't let go. The high was too high to say goodbye to things we had before they went. My body is so spent. Dripping sweat, kitchen sink, blood on my teeth. Aching mind, splitting skulls, sleepless nights. Trying to quell what I got. Now, a lot of people might not like something like that and might think he's just spouting words, but it's not. I mean, there's a lot of depth to it, especially if you have dealt with something like that. So I think that the abstract nature of this book might turn a lot of people off, but if you want something different and you want something that's out of the norm, that isn't just the mainstream type of poetry or um poetry that's already been done before. I know a lot of people are trying to imitate Rupi Kaur's style, which to me is played, be yourself. Um, but yeah, that's DKMH, my thoughts on poems by Dacre Montgomery. I think he's not just a celebrity trying to further his brand by cashing in on a quick buck. I think I think he is actually a thoughtful, truthful poet actually making passionate poetry. So those are my thoughts. Once again, I'm Terrence, and this is The Written Word.